So they say Frost never lost. I'm guessing that you saw that clip though. You edged past Frosty Jacked, and I'm meant to applaud that shit show. I jacked Frost and used up all my short and thin jokes just to get another man with short man syndrome. And I entered this for a test. Honestly, it's useless when both of my opponents look like oranges on toothpicks and you wear child-sized shoes. It saves you money, bro, of course, but thinking about that left a funny little thought, because when I sit on a chair, my feet are comfy on the floor. Yours swing back and forth because you're a fucking leprechaun. And I don't mind what this guy's even got for me, because I've seen him lie 3 times and he lost all 3. There was Mackenzie, Lazy and Frost, all clean, so that's 3 strikes, you're out like a softball league. And your loss to the Scot was bad. I mean, that was just poor, bro. You made 0 fucking sense, like you were rapping in Morse code. Your shot at King of the Dot and you were slamming the door closed because we saw Mackenzie all over you, like Rapthor's wardrobe. But Adam lives in Brussels now, and I'm jealous as shit. But one little incident left him fed up with it. He claims he got spiked with some rare drugs and it led to him hyping up online like he's the bare knuckle king. When I find the culprit, I'ma stare up to him. What are you gonna do, Adam? Fucking headbutt his shin? And yeah, we all fucking know it's every Belgian's lucky wish to tick a balding Irish midget off his bucket list. Fuck off.
So let's get one thing clear. You robbed Frost. The judges are either thick as shit or they're border mental patients. If they're calling for sir, they still need formal education. We can tell you're just a foreign beggy placement because you say, the support I get's amazing, like it's an extraordinary statement. Ooh, Louis, you look like the type of lad who possesses a few roofies. Humble brag, all my bottles the set of a new movie. I run through Marks and Spencer's just food to me. I'm sick of these posh bastards. Yeah, the shit that I drop's hard, but the shit I'd written for Frost harder. If it wasn't for this tournament, you wouldn't be in a position to drop bars. You couldn't check the levels and you're a literal podcaster. Have you told your audience about this? How you've cleverly written words? How once you've entered, you'll win it, sure. I mean, I know you don't want to disappoint all 10 of your listeners. Jester made a joke of you, and he's a guy I cleaned up. You and your rounds spent half the battle playing hide and seek, cunt. How did no one dare give you that Heimlich squeeze trust? Boy, you choked face in black more than Riley Reid does. I'm a masterpiece in your bird's eye. Art attack. This is Cassidy announcing Tier 1. Bars is back. Premier Battle showed us he hasn't got the heart for rap. He's got that 8-mile stage fright on every single cardiac. You're a middle-class business whelp. Intrinsic wealth. Next round, I'ma give you hell. This one, I just wrote last night like I kiss and tell. Easy.
So last round I proved you getting spiked isn't true. And all those middle class jokes I found quite frickin' rude. No, I didn't tell my listeners I'm writing for you, because after our interview I saw a spike in the views and he said he had better stuff written for Frost. Well, that was a massive wounder. And why in half your battles they've branded him as the loser, because planning about the future's as damaging as a tumour when you get a head off yourself like a Marilyn Manson rumour. And you're a metalhead, right? So I knew that you'd like that. But this little sideman still listens to psytrance. I haven't listened to that shit since my teens, mate. Wow. You're turning 30 soon and still in a trance just to feel spaced out. So now I've had to listen to your shit for 3 straight rounds. I see the biggest battle of your life is the TH sound. Because it's not tink, it's think. And it's not tick, it's thick. I know all the Irish are on H, but I don't give a shit. The only feedback that you got was to keep working on your T's. And they're talking mispronounced words if they say terminology. And you said choked on black like Riley Reid. I know, he's bad. This lonely man prepped to fucking battle me on OnlyFans. And I only wrote this stuff an hour ago, bro. I know I have to care more, but the only time we've seen fire punches on Terminal was Glasgow Airport.
Listen, you fucking embarrassing Bodies cast member. You've got the facial hair of an FTM transgender. Learn to be a man better. You be using different shit to make it come out a bit. I'll come to your gaff and slap your dad's cum out of it. The life that's flashing before your eyes looks like 1,000 dicks. He's not supposed to see just that, but yet somehow he did. I had a dick appointment with your mom, and I showed up right on time on some black box shit, came to the pad, drop in, and she was on a rag spotting. So I just flipped her over, left her back slot split. We had that no strings attached with her tampon in. You are shit even for a newbie. How's it every year the crop gets so weak? If the judges are looking for some gold, it's the prospector me, and I'm a prospector me. You're getting handled, brushed off and washed on these streams. You couldn't stop terminal if you studied oncology. And you said my only method of fighting is to headbutt a shin. That joke was done better at the time, everyone did. But if you're looking for some knee pads, ask your sweet mom what her suggestions you pick. She's the biggest expert within the protections they give. And you said, I got that short man syndrome. You were dropping truth actually. Because I've crushed battles like Napoleon, but Waterloo accolades. And I was going to drop a bar about having a noodle sandwich with your girl, because on our podcast, you shared the fact that's what our favourite snacks within the world, but I saw that you're single now. I guess a tragedy occurred. She must have watched your battles and realised you're a massive fucking nerd.
Sir Spence versus Terminal. I did think Sir Spence's first round was a little played out with some of the bars, a little formulaic, and he's gone for quite complex multisyllabic rhymes, but kind of missing out stress syllable placements. It's quite important. They were a bit all over the place, so I can't really give him any points for that round. Terminal had a much more convincing performance, and I just preferred his punchlines generally in the first round. Sir Spence, the spike in the views flip was good to start his round off. The Marilyn Manson bar is totally played out. I've heard it a million times. I heard C Major spit it years ago, I think against Chilla Jones. It's not tink, it's think, that whole thing. O'Shea did the exact cadence, the exact same thing in a title match against Tony D. I can't really give him any points for any of these concepts. They're totally unoriginal. I've seen Sir Spence a lot better and a lot more original, so it's quite disappointing. Terminal, again, the life flash before your eyes I thought was a little played out, but he had a lot more creative ones alongside him. And I generally preferred Terminal's pacing. I still think he could have done a bit better. Like, I have seen him better than this. It's a little disappointing from both, but just on originality, I have to give the battle to Terminal.
Right, here's my opinion on Sir Spence. He come out of nowhere. I'd never heard of him before as a person, not as a battle rapper. Asking me if I wanted to do a podcast. Tom had sort of already got the podcast game unlocked. You know what I mean? It's like when you come first, it's hard to come second. But I said yeah, because I always do a podcast. I always like talking about battle rap. Sort of giving my opinion across, having discussions and all that jazz. Anyway, so the long and the short of it is that Sir Spence has come out of nowhere to become probably one of my favourite people on the scene at the moment. He's got that exact style that we used to do back in the day, which is sort of slow, methodical, punchlines, plodding. I want to hear every word. I want to understand every concept. I don't want to be swept away by sort of you're already in the next bar while the first one's taking place. It's too much. The battle rap is too much for me these days. Whereas Sir Spencer's come in with an old approach, which is actually a fresh approach, by replicating the style that got battle rap big in the first place. We need a couple more people like Sir Spence in the scene, in my opinion. Not blowing too much smoke up his arse, because he's still got a lot of work that he needs to do. I think he needs to concentrate more on the rewrite, taking out some of that excess, that unnecessary, and adding some extra punchlines, because he's obviously got the ability to write these punchlines. And maybe, watching one less episode of Neighbours of an evening and spending a little bit more time perfecting your craft, and you might genuinely be one of the best in the country in about 2 to 3 years. And in turn doing so, you might revive the scene. You never know, brother. So keep it going. Yeah, safe. Spence. Wow.
Sir Spence versus Terminal. Good battle. I think for this one I'm going to go for Terminal. I think they're both really good rhymers, and there's like a lot of attention paid to syllable breakdowns and things like that. It's a strength that both of them have, but I think in that respect, Terminal just has a bit more attention to detail when it comes to the setups, in my opinion. Also, he just takes more care about what he's saying. I feel like it just not by a huge margin, but I just feel like there's more of that, especially in the first round. I think Terminal won the first round, and the second round was a bit closer, maybe a draw, but I had to give it to Terminal overall. But I do like the way that Suspense sort of like came back with the rebuttals and stuff. They were good use of the material that was given to him. So yeah, Terminal.
What's good? Respect BA. Just watched Suspense versus Terminal. I'm going to give this one just to Suspense based on I feel like his punchlines were slightly hitting harder for me. So yeah, big up to both MCs, but I'm going to give this one to Suspense. Big ups to Terminal also.
Yeah, this is Crazy from Word Life. Right, I'm judging Suspense versus Terminal. And, I mean, you both kind of lost that. That sucked. I mean, that was painful to watch. Maybe it's just my taste, but... who do I think lost the least? I mean, Terminal, your voice wasn't that bad last time, but I think it kind of doubled in thickness this time. I find it quite... Look, voice aside, the content of what you said, I think you picked it up on the second round, but you were so dead on the first round that it's unforgivable. I got to give it to Suspense, just because he had kind of like a equally monotonous one. But yeah, that's it. It's Suspense.